Yeah. So a pleasant good evening to one and all, and welcome to our special edition of Talk Sports. Right, a special edition, I say, of Talk Sports, and this evening's program will be trying to review the performances of the athletes, the track and field athletes who were in at the Boys and Girls Championships, that's the Eastern Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships in Jamaica on the weekend. Well, it was 5 days from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, culminated on Saturday. A number of Grenadians participated, and we hopefully will be chatting with some of those athletes who were there. We'll also be chatting with a coach from Carriacou that has been basically under the radar, I would say, because you know he has been, from what I understand, he has been around for a while, but as the you know as the norm, we will say that if you're not up there, you don't get the necessary attention. So I'll be talking to that coach in a moment. And as per usual, our usual guest, Rudy Silva, will join us from Toronto. Will chip in because on this evening's program, we do specifically the performances of these athletes there. We'll chat with some of them as well as look forward to the Carifta Games this weekend, and then some of them most likely will be participating in the pen relays. First of all, I want to say a good evening to Angel Johnson. As soon as this video is back on, I will let you know. And right, so Angel is on now. So let me see if I can get Angel, who is in Caracou, and will be talking to us. Angel, before I go on to some of the athletes, well, I know Jamara Patterson is also on with us this evening, so we'll talk to Jamara momentarily. But um, are you surprised, Angel, by the performances of those athletes, especially from the sister ads? And by the way, we had one athlete from PD Martinique as well, okay? But I'm asking you that as a blanket question, and then I'll go into you giving us a little more information about yourself. But are you surprised? Just to start the ball rolling, are you surprised?
To be honest, no, I'm not. I'm not surprised at all. The
And
athletes
why?
on them, they have a lot of potential, and I know their potential, and I know what they can do. So it wasn't no surprise to me.
All right. Well, it's nice hearing that from you, Angel Johnson, and as a coach, and for one who appears to be under the radar, as I said, not
Yeah.
many people know about Angel, but I did a little research, and Angel has been, there and assisting and providing coaching to those athletes. So give us a little background on Angel Johnson in terms of your exploits in coaching.
Well, I started at a very young age. Uh, at the time I finished my second year, I went to Hillsborough Secondary School, and I went at a second year at the GBSS. And going to that school, it prepared me in a way that I wanted to go out there and give back to my little country, to Carriacou, because growing up, I never had a coach at myself, never had a coach, never had somebody to coach me. But yet, I was a very competitive athlete as well. So when I finished the GBSS, that was my first aim was to come back to Carriacou and start coaching.
Mhm. Well, I want to thank you and congratulate you and all that you have been doing. But let us know more about your coaching ability, who you have been coaching, who are some of the athletes you have been coaching and particular areas you have been coaching.
Well, I do mostly throws. Um, Jamora Alves was under the training session with me. Jamara Alves, Jaeden Teka, um, DeAndre Bristol.
Mhm.
This three athletes was under my wing for a while, and they've been competing and doing at the best under me. So
All right. Well, let me see if I can get one of those athletes who in Jamaica, Jamara Patterson from St. Catherine High School. I think that's the correct name. I'll come back to you, Angel. But
okay.
Jamara Patterson from uh, St. Catherine High School, formerly of St. Joseph Convent, St. George's, and Jamara uh, competed in fact, she reached the final and competed in the final of the 400 meters. She was also in the finals, rather, of the 4 by 100 meters as well as the 4 by 400 meters. Class two is Jamara Patterson, meaning that she is very young and has the opportunity to be in Jamaica for another year to compete in the Class 1 category. Jamara, good evening to you. And let's see if, yes, Jamara, good evening to you and welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction as well.
Right, and nice having you on the program. Jamara, let's talk about your experience in Jamaica in the class two, I think I was correct. Yeah, class two girls, 400 meters. What it was like, competing and also reaching the final of an event like the 400 meters.
Well, as you said, I participated in 400 meters, class two, 4 by 100 meters, and also 100 meters. I mean, going into the competition, I was definitely nervous because coming from such a smaller country into this big country where we know sprints is a major thing up here, I was rather nervous, especially going onto the teams. So when I entered the champs, I mean the first day, the crowd wasn't as big as intended. I mean it's the first day, so I mean not a lot of people come out, but I kind of simmered down into that feeling. I mean, even on the last day when the crowd was huge, well, huger than what I expected, there was no feeling of nervousness at all. I guess I got acquainted to that feeling, so that was good as well. In terms of performance, I somewhat have mixed feelings about my performance. I'm happy that I was able to make the finals because not a lot of people can say at the end of the day that they've made a 400-meter finals in Jamaica. So that was a good feeling. I came out with a personal best, so I placed 8th in the finals. That was not my best performance, might I add. I still came out with a PB. We placed in the 4 by 100 meter. We placed second. Unfortunately, it was somewhat my mishap at the last leg. I ran last leg, but it was a mishap. And the 4 by 4 we came 6th, but all of which I'm so proud of because at least I gave points to my team, so I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, well,
But still
well,
disappointments. But
you
there are
have no, that's good. That's good. That's good, Jamara, and thank you. And I'm certain Rudian will chip in a while because I'm so impressed with your delivery, your speaking, and things like that. So, but so you are silver in the 4 by 1, and you said and you accept, blame as you said. So probably you believe that you all should have gotten the goal in the 4 by 1. But what it was like, what it is like, and I say was like in terms of preparation for a
Mhm.
meet as champs, boys and girls champs, the biggest and the best of its kind in terms of high school championships in the world, as
Mhm.
they say. What it was like for you um, coming from an intercall setting in Grenada to a boys and girls champs where on competing on probably the final day, the Saturday, for example, is could be 20,000 plus, cheering.
Well, from day one, when I first came here, my coach repeatedly suggested to me like the audience and the type of crowd in which Champs is on. Because as you said, it's an intercall setting. It's a much smaller setting than what Champs is because Champs over here is of extremely big meat. It's It's a very important meet as well. Um, there was somewhat nervousness, of course. Of course, I was nervous. I mean, with my coach's guidance and all the preparation, maintaining keeping a healthy diet, training. I train like 5 times a week. Um, the preparation, it was good. I mean, my coach did all that he had to do in order to prepare me. So when it came down to the last minute, it was just on my hands. I just had to ensure that I executed, which I would say that I executed fairly, not entirely what I wanted. I mean, I didn't reach my goal as yet. My goal was like for the 400 meter, my goal was around like 53, 54. I have not reached that goal as yet. So I'm a bit disappointed at that. But at the end of the day, I made new friends. I got a PB. I have many people that are supporting me. I know of my family, friends, everybody that's back home, others as well. So that's just good. That's just good for me.
Right. Well, it's nice to hear that. Certainly, I appreciate that. Let me bring in our good friend Rudian, who is in Toronto, and he's actually mobile now, but he has been following the exploit of our athletes like yourself and others. Um, Rudian, what have you made of, first of all, hearing from Jamara, and I certainly would have read about Jamara and things like that. So, and certainly really impressed with her delivery and things like that. So, it's part of the process as we discussed, getting these athletes to be exposed, to public speaking, and I mean, Jamara is very young, but she is showing signs of maturity and willing to, to speak to the media, willing to speak publicly on her performances and things, which augurs well for her and things like that. So, give me your take, Rudian.
How you doing, sir?
I'm fine.
Sorry, I'm in the car, so
Yeah, we know mobile,
myself,
as you said.
but forgive me for that. Young lady, I am so impressed with you. I've been following you, and a few things. You feel a little disappointed, but you had a personal best. That's not disappointment. That's victory. Okay, that's victory right there. You see, if we look at the sport as winning every time without having a personal best, your training is not good. Yes, because the athletes you're running against is no good. So the objective is to get better every time. So I am extremely proud of you. Extremely proud of you. I mean, like I said, I've been following you. I believe the future for a 50 point is there. You got to want it. You got to strive for it. You got to work for it. And I believe that you can do it. I was not surprised, but I was surprised by how many athletes of Grenada that's in Jamaica. I wasn't surprised on the performance. I know what our people can do. We are the spice people. We are the land of spice. That's who we are. We shine wherever we go. And we are piggyback out of Kirani, and the athletes is piggybacking from Kirani, moving us forward because we have the name now. We have that name that we have to represent. You understand? So I believe that we can do well. And I'm so proud of every Grenadian athlete who perform in Jamaica. Coming first or coming eighth, I am extremely proud of them. I just think it is time for us, and Coach Johnson, I just think it is time for us to change our strategy in Grenada and start leaving our athletes home. It is time for us to build our own program in Grenada than shipping our athletes out. And I mean, some of them is not being shipped by the organization. They do it on their own. But the coaches in Grenada is no different from the coaches in Jamaica. They have the same talent. They have the same gifts. So I believe 100% that it is time for us to change our strategy, train home, have more meets, in that we could get other athletes from the Caribbean to come to Grenada and come to Carriacou, and so that we can build our own. Let us have our own name. extremely proud of what I see, like I said, but it's time for us to build our own programs, have our stuff in Grenada with our coaches that is just as talented or even more talented than the Jamaican coach. I am not taking away the Jamaican coaches. They have done a wonderful job with you, and they have done a wonderful job with our athletes, but it's time for us to figure out our system in Grenada, keep our athletes stay home, training under a system, and they can get the competition, and Grenada could have the name moving forward. Then we could have athletes coming from the world coming to Grenada than not only from the world going to Jamaica and train. It is time for us to change our strategy, but I'm extremely proud. Keep up the good work. Continue doing what you're doing. Coach, I am extremely proud of you. You've seen the good work. You see what you started, and you see the finishing work of it. Yes, they may not be under you now, but you started it. And once you have that, you continue doing the hard work, continue working hard. Like I said, I know the hard work. I've been in it for a very long time. I may look young, but I've been in it for a long time. And I went to the Olympics for Grenada. I ran the 400 for Grenada at the Olympic Games in Sydney. So I know the feeling. I know what it's like to run in a big crowd. You think I wasn't nervous in the Olympics? You think you was nervous? I was nervous. You don't have a clue. I was nervous, okay? Couldn't sleep, all right? Same thing going competing in the United States, competing in university. The pressure is there. But once you get on the track, you're a different person. But always know in your heart, you are a Grenadian first. The people is always going to be behind you, regardless of where they're at in the world. Know that Grenada and Grenadians is always going to be a big supporter of you guys. Continue doing the hard work.
So
Yeah.
thanks, Rudyard, and certainly it's still a far-fetched in terms of your suggestion because we have to put systems in place for to have a program as you suggested, and the conversation has been probably the TMR should come to college, for example, as a tertiary institution providing the education for those kids, as well as we have a proper program, because it's not just coaching, but you also
you're
have
right.
to have nutrition and
but at the same time, it's something that we have to really look into. We really have to look into it. And one of the things I always saying, I've been saying it for a long time, even with the education system. And maybe this is not a platform for it, but we're having a discussion and we can do that. And so the coaches could understand that. Jamaica kids go all the way up to start up Form 6 in a sense, right? So they have that extended for them. They stop in Form 5. Some of them is 16 or 17 years old and they're done. And they absolutely finish. Continue on their education. Continue. They can stay in school until they're 18 years of age. They don't have to run and do the 5 subjects now. They can do 3 and then go back again. So the system in terms of that have to even change. So I think it's a conversation that needs to take place.
Right.
But however, I know it's a long way off, but if we start it now, then we can get there in 5 years. So the athletes coming up now that we believe that's coming up, that is great, that is very talented, could start in this process. And then, like I said, and let the athletes, let Jamaican come to Grenada. Let Trinidad come to Grenada.
What it shows, I mean, not taking away anything from what you're suggesting, and I'm so Angel will understand that. But it's a process, and what it shows is that we have the talent. It's just that we need to have the systems in place to ensure that we have the more of the Jamara and others that can who may not have the opportunity, because whatever we do, there will always be those who will want to travel, whether it's to the United States, Canada, even to Jamaica, for example. But we have to ensure that there's a system in place so that those who may not be able to travel can still stay in Grenada, afford an education, a tertiary education, and train. But I'm saying it's not just the training aspect of it, because it comes with a lot of other aspects in terms of the nutrition, in terms of the physio, all these things are things that we need to have together. In Jamaica, obviously, they have those things now. GC Foster, for example, they do a lot of things there, and and they produce a lot of coaches now, high-class coaches, and some of their coaches who are returning from North America, as a matter of fact. They have clubs and professional clubs, so they have a system in place. And until such time, we have together. And I'm certain that Angel will want to come in and say something as well.
Yes, because uh, I Carriacou itself, we never had like a a a club. We never had a club or anything. And at this point, me and my colleague, a next colleague of mine, we're actually want to start a club here in Carriacou at the moment. So that is something we're looking forward to, and getting our athletes under a strong, a very strong system and a good foundation, you know?
Well, yeah. Well, I understand that, and this is certainly the right direction to go with, because we're seeing now that, in fact, most of the athletes in Jamaica are actually from Carriacou. Most of the athletes, who are in
Yes,
Jamaica from Grenada, the state, are coming from Carriacou, including one from PD Martinique. You know, you have the bulk of them coming from there, which says a lot. It shows you that, you know,
yes. And to
Carriacou
know
is
our
in need of.
resources, and our resources are yet limited because when it comes to like weights, we don't have sufficient weights. The resources, everything is locked, you know. We don't have that kind of stuff in Carriacou, and yet we're still performing, we're still going up to the top, you know. So
Yeah. So
that is something.
how it's been done? I mean, share with us. I mean, you don't have the resources, you don't have the facility, the tons of top class facilities and things, but you're producing quality athletes. So how it's been
What
done?
can I say? What can I say? Using what I have and making it do, you know. More repetitions, using other strategies in order to strengthen some of them, you know. So that is what I've been doing, you know. Um, for instance, I just go back to the simple thing like tires, big truck tires, and all this kind of stuff, you know. Having them do a lot of that, you know. Having them strengthen the most valuable parts in order to get the throwing and to perform at the very best, you know. Yeah.
I mean, if I can piggyback on that for a little bit, you said going back to it. You shouldn't go back to it. It should be something that should be there. A lot of
Yeah.
coaches, including myself, right now use
Yes.
tires for
Yes,
training.
man.
And I'm in a country where we have all the facilities. We have too many facilities, way
Yes.
for weights and so forth. But tires is something that is very important. I still go back to the old school. I still go back to
Yeah.
the little stuff that we done, throwing tennis ball, and those kind of
Yeah.
things. I'm still going back to the because those dynamics could really help. So I still do those things. So it's not going back to the old
Yeah.
stuff. And I like the idea that you are using different things. You have to use what you have.
Yes. Yes.
I just think it's more than using what you have. I think it is the determination of the athletes you have. And I think
That's
that's
it.
what really get them going. That will make you produce such good athletes. I think it's the determination they have and you have as a coach. And once you have that, it open up the avenue for you to see see more and do more without the things that you really think you need. You have everything.
Yes.
You just don't know that
Yes.
what you have, other
Yes.
people want it, you know. But
Yes.
the minute you have the determination, you actually finding a way because they're coming. If the athletes wasn't coming, then your brain wasn't working to do anything. But because they're coming out, you're finding ways to do it. So keep it up. Keep doing good things. There's big future for you, man. Just keep doing it. Just keep
Yeah,
doing it
man.
with the athletes, and you're gonna, it's gonna be well. It's gonna be well.
Yeah.
But it's not all. It's things that is good.
Yeah.
Continue
Yeah.
doing what
Yeah.
you're doing, and a lot, like I said, a lot of people would love to have what you have. They don't have it, and they're
Sure.
supposed to have way more. They don't have the little things that you have because they don't have athletes that have the determination that's your athlete, and that's the first thing. So once you have that, open up your brain, open up the mind. You see things differently. You take the tires, you have them do it up on hills. You have different things that will really help them in so much great way that you'll be shocked with the results afterwards. So, but continue doing that.
But it's true. But it's true that you say that with the athletes and their determination. But I myself, I go out for my athletes like 100%. So I put all my passion into them. I have them like family, and having that kind of relationship with my athletes, it encourages them to come to training and encourages me itself to actually trust them and trust myself in order to get them into where they want to be.
That is very good to know. Let me see if I can add another person who has a very keen interest with some of those athletes from Carriacou and has been on my program before and spoke. Well, he was one who gave me a lot of information about these athletes. One is his name is Trevor Mcintosh. Trevor, I want to say good evening to you and welcome to the program. Nice having you on. You have to unmute your mic, Trevor.
Good evening, yeah. Everyone. Good evening, good evening, Michael. You seem to be getting quite a bit of disturbance with the broadcast on the volume.
Oh, with your volume. Okay, but no, I've been hearing the kids. I've been hearing the other guests very clear. Just I think there's some problem with your mic, but I just need to find out from you. If you're hearing me, because there's a lot of crackling coming through on your end. Yeah, it's a lot of, it's coming from your end. The crackling is coming from your end in terms of your microphone. So, briefly, Trevor, you have been following the exploit of those athletes, especially from Carriacou.
Yeah.
What have you made of their performances, especially this year? Because some of them competed last year, but this year in particular.
Well, I think from where the athletes were in Carriacou to where they are now, they've done very, very exceptionally well. As Angel was saying earlier, we could only take these athletes to take them to a certain distance, but then afterwards, we don't really have the expertise of how to take that athlete to the next level. And so far, those athletes have gone to Jamaica, and they've done so.
Okay. Well, that is really commendable, Trevor, because as we spoke about that before. In fact, the last time you were on the program, we spoke about, and as a matter of fact, Angel raised it a while ago, that the athletes from Carriacou seem to be so much at a disadvantage, but yet for performing at the best of their ability, and in some instances surpassing those on the mainland who have all the facilities and everything at their disposal.
Oh, you know what? Well, I came to Grenada, and well, my background, and when I arrived in Grenada, I saw lots of talented young children just walking around the streets. And I always said to myself, if I get the chance, I will try my very best to create avenues for these children, instead of just letting them waste their talent. So that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'll always do. It takes someone with my eye or whatever. I've been in the sports industry for a good number of years to actually spot a talent. And that's what we got to do. But when we spot these talents, and when these children have got that talent, it's up to us now to harness it.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay us talking and saying, yes, we could do this and we could do this. But it takes all of us to all come together to create something so that these young children can get a pathway through education and through their sports and go on to do like what Jamora is doing in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, Thanks very much. Just stay tuned a bit. I'll come back to you in a while. Trevor, we do have a couple of kids that I need to put on. Let me welcome no stranger. He is Nazio John. Nazio John is getting ready to represent Grenada at the Kirsta Games. And he's one of the young athletes that up and coming. And Nazio has been sprinting his life away, I should say. you know, whether it's in South America, he gone to Africa, and he's just Nazio will run every day if he gets the chance. Nazio, good evening to you, and I know you probably just coming out from training like some of our other athletes who are in Jamaica. Good evening to you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes, and welcome. And I know you're preparing to head down to Jamaica in the next day or two. Yeah, probably the day after tomorrow. What is like preparing and preparing for what will be most likely your final Carriacou game?
It's been hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been pretty hard because my coach been hard on me on fixing exactly what I need to do to get ready going into Carriacou. For instance, I've had this problem where I'm not accelerating how I should in the first 30 meters. So he's been having me do extra work, especially on the first 30. So it's all about preparation.
Preparation, as you say, and I'm certain. Well, I'm hoping rather. I'm not certain yet. You will tell me, and you'll let me know if it's certain that preparation so far has been going well.
Yes, sir. It's actually been going right how it should.
Sure. Okay. And what can we expect or look out for over the weekend from Nazio?
Let's say a win legal 10-1. A new record.
Yeah, I know. I'm certainly a bit disappointed that you did a 10-1-6
Yes, sir.
win assisted 10-1-6, which if was legal would have been the national record, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. It would have been, but my coach believes I could do it without the win. I believe in my coach, so it's just a matter of time and patience.
Okay. We're talking about your coach. Let's be bringing Mr. Fernando John, your coach, your dad, your everything, your mentor, your everything. Coach, how things going for Nazio getting ready for the big Carriacou games in Jamaica? And certainly you would have seen some of the performances from the athletes from Boys and Girls Camp, which is mainly a prelude to what you can expect, especially from the Jamaicans. How preparations going?
I think preparation's been going pretty good. I mean, he's been executing well. He looks stronger than he ever been before. So he seems ready. Yeah, he's mentally in a place where I don't think he's ever been that prepared for a meet before. He's really focused, and I like the way he's been, executing and working. So I'm expecting good things.
And you're very encouraged by the sort of times he has been coming through with as the 10-1-6, for example, even though it's win assisted, but you're impressed with what you're seeing?
I'm impressed, and I'm encouraged by the times because you always say if you can do it win legal, win aided, you can do it win legal. Because I remember when he ran that 10-23 wind assisted, everyone says wind assisted, but 2 weeks later he ran 10-3-2, which was like okay, it wasn't the win because he did it over repeatedly over the summer, that right around the same time. It wasn't as fast as the 10-23, but 10-23 and 10-2, 10-3-1, it's pretty much is right within the ballpark of what he can do. But it's just a matter of executing and finishing up on it's just a final polishing of what he needs to do. And so far, he's been executing the race just like how he's expected to.
Mhm. And excited, Nazio, about meeting up with the locals and competing as a team. Obviously, I'm certain. I say team, probably would have thinking of a relay, but I'm talking about representing Grenada.
I'm very excited, especially since I missed the opportunity to go last year and also the
Mhm.
games. Cause for the past competitions that Grenada has sent me to, I've been by myself or it was just one other person. So now it feels good to be part of a team again.
Yeah, well, and I want to wish you all the best. And I know that the folks will be cheering on for Team Grenada in Jamaica on the weekend. Coach, you also heading down to Jamaica?
Yes, I'm actually heading down. I'll meet up with Nazio on Friday.
Mhm.
We will be heading down because I'm back in Texas right now. We'll meet up in Miami and head down to Jamaica. And I'm just excited to meet the rest of the team because not just Nazio, we have had some pretty good performance from all the guys that actually got selected, especially the ones in Jamaica. I swear they're gonna get me fired because I'm watching them compete while I'm at work. And I'm very impressed with what I see in Jamora, Shavin, Ahshareah, all the athletes in Jamaica. They have been doing pretty well. So I just can't wait to meet them and just have a good time with them. Represent 473. I think it's going to be a very good showing based on their individual performance. And for some reason, they just seem ready. And I think we're going to make some noise when we get there.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach, and Nazio as well. Thank you very much.
All right, thank
Right.
you.
Okay then. So that you heard that there from Nazio John and his coach, as well as his dad, Fernando John. They're heading down to Jamaica to be part of the Team Grenada. I will get back to Jamara in a moment. As you know, Jamara just came out from training at but I want to get back to Carriacou for a moment because as I indicated, it somehow most of the athletes who are in Jamaica, the high school athletes rather, who are in Jamaica from Carriacou and Petit Martinique, and somehow without the proper facilities, without being engaged in competitions as regular as possible, it's very costly for them to actually get to the mainland. And then with all the problems regarding the ferry and all these things now, it becomes a challenge. But yet, for all, when it comes to performances, these athletes, they do excel. Um, you know, Ahshareah, for example, winning the high jump, yes, in the class one girls. We had Jamora winning 3 medals, 2 gold medals, and a silver medal. We had Jaeden with a bronze medal. Um, you know, it's remarkable for these athletes and especially their parents as well too, because I know how hesitant the parents may have been to give their kids permission, very young kids to permission to go and stay in Jamaica, but it appears to be paying off, and that's what I want to get to Trevor. Trevor, how convincing it is to get these parents to understand and to accept that having the kids go to Jamaica. Yes, I
It's
understand their concern. I understand their fear that any parent will be, whether it's to Jamaica or whether it's to North America. But how convincing it is to get them to say yes, I will send them.
it's it's a long process to convince them. It's a very, very hard process to convince them that to actually tell them about what Jamaica's about, because they read these reports about Jamaica and certain places in Jamaica. So we got to remember Carriacou is a very small place. Where in Jamora's case, I had to convince the mother, the 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 grandmother, the auntie, the father, the brother, the sisters, all of them, that Jamaica is the place for Jamora to go and achieve what she achieved over the last couple of days. It's a very long process. You know, some of them come and because of certain elements of other people on the island will talk them out of it, they don't come anymore. And then the parents read into what they say, and then, you know, they stop their child from coming. You know, it's just all these things that's but I guess that's part of nature.
But what do you think, or you hope that the performances of these athletes will do to encourage more athletes from Carriacou and even more parents from Carriacou to allow their kids to, you know, to hop on, especially those who are a bit hesitant?
Well, I've got to honestly say to you that what Jamora and Jaeden and Ahshareah has achieved, I think that alone is testimony that going there actually works. So hopefully there is a few more young, well, Carriacou's full of talented children. They just need the opportunity. That's all they need. So hopefully by what they've achieved now, that parents will now start to understand that their children have got hope to do something fantastic and brilliant.
All right. Well, thank you, Trevor. I want to thank you very much for coming on and sharing your views. And hopefully, as we indicated, we have to have a separate program to deal with some issues. Well, not I shouldn't say some issues, but to do with the program in Carriacou, to do with the foundation and things like that. So we have a special program to deal with that, because I think a lot is happening in Carriacou. A lot is in stake for Carriacou, but it's just that it needs the attention as well. Okay, so certainly we will link up some of the time. Thanks very much for being part of the program today. Thank you. Okay then. So that's Trevor Mcintosh from Carriacou with the Grenadian Sports Foundation. Certainly, you know, the Hillsborough Tongue Football Club. Yes. So quite a lot we have to talk about in Carriacou. We have to have a special program just to deal with Carriacou, because a lot is happening in Carriacou, and we'll deal with that. Getting back to Angel and getting back to Jamara, and we still have Rudy on still. But Angel, as Trevor was saying regarding the Carriacou and the talents in Carriacou, no doubt we are seeing it, and I guess as much it's just for, you know, the authorities to give a little more attention, some more resources in assisting Carriacou to develop what it has, right?
Yes, yes.
So you have to make that appeal.
well, that is appeal all over, because the resources is rather less, but yet we're still using what we have, and it will be good to get that kind of resources, because with that resources we have, I see Olympians, man. I see these kids going out there and perform at the highest level, and I mean at the highest level, because this kid has hearts and they behind it, and believe me, we all at Carriacou behind them as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, glad to hear that, and certainly we look forward to seeing more. Let's see if we can link up with another of these athletes, Shavin Hector-Charles. Shavin, as you know, Shavin was one of the athletes who competed for. Oh, you're not hearing me, Shavin? Oh, I think you're muted. You're muted, so that's why I'm not hearing you. Yeah. Oops. Right. But are you hearing me, Shav? No, you're muted still. But nice seeing you. You're not hearing me. You're muted. I'm seeing that you're muted. So if you can unmute. So let's see if we can see if Shavin can get himself organized still, but he's muted. But saying about Shavin was one of the athletes who got into the final of the 200 meters, And he also competed in the relay, the 4x1 relay. It's very rare you find a non-Jamaican getting into a sprint final. And it says a lot for Shavin, Hector-Charles, formerly of St. David's Catholic Secondary School, getting into advancing rather semi-finals into the final of the 200 meters. Certainly, it says a lot for Shavin and for the future of Shavin. I hope you hear me now, Shavin. I think you hear me. So you have to unmute your mic now, and we should be good to go. And I want to say once again, congratulations on getting to the final of the 200 meters. As I indicated, it's not an easy feat for a non-Jamaican to get there. And certainly you brought some valuable points to Kingston College. By the way, congratulations to you and Kingston College, because I saw you with the trophy as well. You added to the point. But talk to me. I had Jamara was on earlier, and she was speaking about the whole experience of participating in the boys and girls champs. Talk me through how it was like, preparing one and then participating in the boys and girls champs.
To be very honest, it was a different experience than the one in Grenada. Harder, you had to fight for what you want to accomplish and them stuff like that.
The 200 meters in particular, Shavin, were you a bit nervous going into competing in the 200 meters, knowing for a fact, as we indicated, that it's highly unlikely that we'll find a non-Jamaican in the lineup? You were probably the only one, I believe, who contested that, and well, not just contested, but you had to work to be there, But how the feeling was like,
Well, the heats, I was very nervous because coming up against the favorite to win the 200 meters, Mr. Brian Level. I was rather nervous because, the biggest, the baddest you could say, I was nervous in the heats, but not in the semis as much as in the heats and in the finals.
Well, yeah, I think you grew in confidence after you advanced, right? You were talking about the experience of the Grenada. I assume you were referring to like intercall compared to boys and girls champs.
Intercall and national champs like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say Grenada is easy as, but based on my training I got, it was rather easy because, you put in the work and you put a door what the work,
But coming from a program at the St. David's Catholic Secondary School, Trailblazers to be exact, what it is you would say that going to Kingston College added to your development?
The training is more intense up here than in Grenada. A lot of gym work, a lot of core work, there's more reps of them stuff. You have 300 meters to do and all them stuff like that. It was rather tough. But you have to put in the work to get out what you want.
Mm-hmm. And I'm certain you coming out of boys and girls champs, there's more confidence going into Carriacou games this weekend.
Yeah, much more confidence than despite coming up against other people from the Caribbean. But yeah.
But you believe if you can conquer in Jamaica, you can conquer anywhere.
Because Jamaica is a homeland of sprinting, so yeah, to conquer anywhere.
Mm-hmm. So how I assume you for folks you would have joined us late because you came from training, right? So training continues.
Yeah, training continues until you can see basically after Carriacou
because there are plans for you to possibly go to the pen relays as well, right?
About that, not sure as yet.
You're not sure as yet, yeah, but I'm saying it could be possible.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay. Okay, we'll stay on the side of caution then, but definitely a focus this
is on the Carriacou,
for Carriacou games. And unlike Grenada, even after the Carifta Games, there's track and field in Jamaica.
Yeah, they are all comers or different
Right.
other meets and stuff like that. So
So
most
you still will be in competition. You'll still be in competition.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to in the future? What are your plans going forward, Shavin?
If it's not track and field, which you can say basically I love. If it's not that, is electrician, because I love the field. Based on how I went through it in secondary school in St. David's Catholic Secondary, I just have a love for it. So just want to fix up stuff and stuff like that.
I know, but certainly you will want to continue as a track athlete, as a sprinter.
Yeah.
Right. Shavin, I really want to thank you for making the time to be on the program. I know training has been tough. I know you also have been celebrating. I heard it from the grapevine that you have been celebrating for the past few days. Kingston College has been celebrated for the past few days, and rightly so. I can understand. You folks work very hard, and it's tough. Tough to win boys and girls champ. Please tell us what it entails in terms of getting the points.
Wow, teamwork, trust in your teammates and stuff like that. Chemistry, everything have to, everything
And as you said, a lot of hard training, right?
Hard training, and you have to make sure the team is disciplined and stuff like that. Make sure you have a proper team. Yeah, basically that. Yeah.
It's your final year at Kingston College.
Yeah, my one and only year.
One and only year. So you're hoping to at least move on, possibly a scholarship, and move on to a college or something like that. So.
Yeah. Yes, by the grace of God.
Right. Certainly, I wish that as well, and I'm certain that we're working to ensure that happens. And I want to thank you for taking the time off, being on the program again. Another athlete, I want to thank you just as I thanked Jamara earlier. I'm very impressed with the delivery, and probably before you go, you leave, I want to bring on my expert there from Toronto, Rudyard Silva, who's certainly looking on. He himself is a coach, and certainly, Rudyard, you may have some advice for Shavin.
Oh, most definitely. Young man, I was so proud of you, man. When I saw you in the finals, knowing that you are a Grenadian, I was extremely proud. Because I know, being a non-Jamaican in the finals, I actually was sticking to another coach out here, who is Jamaican. And I said, man, that never happened. He said, no. So I was very impressed. A few things that you said, that you have to work hard for what you want. That's the attitude of the Jamaicans. A lot of coaches that I have, friends in the university in the States that I have friends of, that's the attitude they see coming in. The Jamaican athletes come on business. They're not there for making friends. They're not there for anything. They come on business, education and track. So it's a discipline that I'm really happy to see that our Grenadian athletes who is in Jamaica is going to pick up that attitude of hard work. You have to work for what you want. You have to fight for your bread. You have to fight for your food. You have to fight for it. And every little thing matters. Every mistake you make, it's costing you the finals. So you think about it that way. Anytime you don't do the reps properly, it can cost you the finals. Every single little thing you do, it can cost you something. So if you have that attitude and that mindset, don't overwork yourself. Don't overkill yourself. But just make sure you do it in the manner that is asked. And the future is bright for you. There is scholarship for you, man. There is scholarship for you. They being in the school that you are, they have the connection. Coaches, they've been looking at you. They've been hearing your name. And there is the opportunity for you to go there and make not only you and your family proud, but Grenada proud. And if you keep it up, you'll go as far as I went to the Olympics for Grenada. And you'll do big. And you'll do big things. I'm really happy to see the athletes is really piggybacking off the Kirani and the other athletes that's come before, and you guys will be better than the Kirani and better than the other athletes that come before, because now we have more athletes than the small amount we had in our time. So continue your hard work. Make sure that education come first. Make sure that is in top line. Just make your family proud, make yourself proud, make your coaches proud, and just work hard and continue doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you.
Yes, as you heard it there, Shavin, certainly, and let me, Alana John, who is Nazio's mom, is saying I was at Nazio Trapping, screaming at the phone when Shavin ran the final on Saturday. Awesome job, keep aiming high and trust the process. A couple of comments came in, quite a few came in earlier. Certainly, I think one of them will be your auntie.
Hey, my aunt.
Yeah,
And mom.
Francine, right? And another says, the family is so proud of you, my son. Love you, baby. That's Marcella Saint Bernard. And right, Sherry Joseph says, well done, Shavin, Hector-Charles. So lots of love coming in from quite a few folks from on the chat. And
Hey, Mr. Bascom, if it's okay with you, let me give you one more advice, if that's okay. Mr. Charles, I just want to give you one advice for this upcoming championship. Every race is a finals. Think about it that way. However, you also have to be able to balance yourself, because you might be top 2 qualify. If you're in the top 2, you don't need to win. You just need to stay in the qualifying areas. But think about it as every race is a finals. If you overconfident yourself, you make mistakes. Understand? If you have too much confidence, most of us, we go there, we have too much confidence. Just, have a plan, speak to your coach, listen to your coach, you have a plan, and just execute the plan, and everything is going to be well. You did all the work already. All the training is for you to go there and perform, and you're going to perform great. But if you go in there and you're zesty and you're overconfident yourself and you have too much confidence, you messed up. False start, you're out. You understand me? So keep the focus. Like I said, but think of every race as a finals. Unless this is based on the circumstances, because it's going to be really tough. Tough in the sense that you're going to have a good competition. You understand? It's going to be good. And you said university is your key thing. Schools will be there. Universities will be there, and they'll be watching you. They heard of your name already. They heard of the young man from Grenada. So let's keep it up, and you'll be good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so thank you very much, folks. Even though the time is coming to an end, I think I may just want to extend it a bit because, the athletes are going into Carriacou games this weekend, and I'm seeing some of them are, as indicated, some of them were actually in training, as Shavin was one of those who came from training. When the program started, he was a few minutes away. I'm seeing now that I think it's Jaeden, Jaeden Teka. Jaeden, you may have to turn your, the light is into the camera, so you may have to turn the other way so they can see you.
So you can take my seat because he's right here. So.
Oh, he's there. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jaeden is the one who was looking around all along. Okay. So Jaeden is the one who has been looking around all along. So that is Jaeden Teka now. He is the medalist. Okay. He the bronze medal. Yes, the bronze medal. Yeah. Jaeden Teka. I know Coach Angel Johnson is on as well, and certainly listening. Jamara Patterson is also on there, listening, and they will want to hear what you have to say. And I thank you for making the effort to be on. Certainly, I want to push the program a little longer, because just to give you all the opportunity and for folks to see who are the athletes. So welcome, Jaeden, and thank you very much. Not so much an interview as you asked, but it's more a discussion. So first of all, we want to hear from you how it was like, what the experience was like, Jaeden, participating in the Boys and Girls Championship.
It was a big, like a great opportunity.
Right.
It was like, my words can't really explain the feeling when you win.
Mm-hmm. When you compare that, Jaeden, competing at Boys and Girls Champs to probably national champs, intercall. I mean, what's the comparison like? What it is you will tell your
It's
friends who
really big. It's like a little more. I think you're running Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great feeling, like real great.
Tell me about the training, your preparation, the whole training to get to, to the level of champs. I mean, that
Training,
the coach will say that Jaeden is ready for boys and girls champs.
the training was tough. Like a lot of work, like different type of workout from in Grenada. More reps, more intense, everything. That's the lifting. Basically, we train every day, sometimes 2 times a day.
Mhm. And I'm certain it's a different sort of feeling because you coming from Carriacou where the facilities and things are limited, the resources are limited, and here you are at Kingston College, where you have just about everything that you need to put you to that level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, let me bring on Angel. Yeah, yeah. Glad to see Angel as your coach back in Carriacou, and certainly
Yeah.
he probably had some words for you and cheering you on and things. Angel, what you need to say to Jaeden?
To be honest, I don't really have much to say, because we talk every day. They, as I said, I have a good relationship with my athletes. Always have a good relationship with my athletes. So they usually be in contact with me like every day, like on a regular basis. I am there to motivate them 100%, no matter what the issue is. And he knows what I'm expected. So he knows.
And knows what they expected, but you believe that looking at the performance of him that he could have done, I mean, better. I know a coach would always say that even if he had won the goal, you will say he could have done better.
Yeah, he could have. He could have. And he will. He will do better because I know he has it in him. So I know.
Um, Jaeden, so the attention now is for Carriacou games this weekend.
Yeah.
Yes. So what's the mindset? What's the preparation like? I mean, how are you getting yourself ready for which is at higher level?
No man, Carter really higher than champs to me.
All right, Jaeden. Jaeden, well, I understand in the context of the javelin, where you have the folks coming from probably Guadeloupe and Martinique and those places. Sometimes they come and they can be very competitive, because I've seen that in Carriacou games before, so
Yeah.
certainly it's something you have to look out for. Mm. While you're there, there was a comment from Mike Batiste directed at you, Angel, and I think while you were speaking regarding Carriacou, and he said Angel needs a gym, weights, shot put, discus, javelin, shot put, hammer, throwing cage. Who have it? Send it. It's an appeal that Carriacou needs equipment. Carriacou needs the resources because you do have the talent. Jaeden is one. You have quite a few others.
Malcolm, to cut you short, we also have a next character athlete that is DeAndre Bristol.
Yeah,
which
DeAndre.
he didn't take part in the child, but he also on the character team.
Right, DeAndre. Yes, DeAndre Bristol. I forgot. We
Yeah.
have DeAndre Bristol as well.
Yeah.
Right. So Carriacou is well represented on the character team, Carriacou
Yeah.
and PT Martinique, I should say. We should not
And
leave
PT
out-
Martinique.
and PT Martinique.
Yes.
We should not leave out Miss Enoe. So certainly, it heightens and reinforces the points that have been made, that we are making and have been made before, that more attention needs to be given to Carriacou in terms of the resources, in terms of their being able to participate. Yes, I'm certain their exploits in Jamaica have really opened the eyes of many, and probably including the Athletic Association, that hey, Carriacou has what it takes, and probably what we need to do is to have more development programs, pump some more resources,
Including for the coaches, because hey, I am not even a level 1 coach.
Oh, really?
Really.
Mhm.
And my performance alone tells.
But
So
have
there we
you
go.
ever been invited to participate in any of those coach?
Yes, yes, but
courses?
it's like it's not a not for qualification.
Oh, okay, right. I understand what you say. You do not have the
Yes,
yes, right.
yes,
Right, yeah. I know what you're saying. So I think I have your drift now. Yeah.
the
So
qualifications. What I'm talking about qualification is that they do a program where it's just for participation that you do a level 1 coach, but they're not saying that you are qualified to be a level 1 coach. They say participation and not qualification.
so you can participate and just be a participant.
Exactly.
But you're not qualified.
Exactly.
There's nothing
qualified.
to show that you are a qualified coach. Okay.
Exactly.
Right. So it reiterates the point in terms of a little more attention to Carriacou. It's all well and good that the athletes from Carriacou and PD Martinique are representing the state, being part of the team, but it's like pure natural talent, and as you say, you doing what you have to do, the old way of weights and whatever it is you can find to coach them.
Yes.
That is what you're doing.
Yes.
Unlike those who have the facilities, they have the gym, they have everything that it takes.
Yes.
And could you imagine if they do have those things, what can
exactly
what can happen? Right.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you, Angel. I want to thank you, Jaeden, as well. Thank you very much. Nice to see you, Jaeden, and we want to wish you all the best for this weekend. Certainly, we're looking forward to a medal. You gave us that commitment now, saying that if you can win in Jamaica, it means that you can win at Carriacou. So we're looking forward to a medal. Is that so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we look forward to that, Jaeden. Thank you very much, Jaeden. I know you folks are still celebrating like Shavin and others. You're part of the process.
Celebration done yet, have the next one after Carriacou.
Look at that. That's what I'm saying, and you would have, by winning the medal, you would have added points, valuable points to your team, for the celebrations. Really, really congratulations to all that have, that you all have done for your team. And I know that they're really proud, because I saw some articles for the first time in a long time that really portrayed the non-Jamaicans who participated and made boys and girls champs rather almost a regional event. It's becoming almost a regional event. We had athletes all the way from Africa competed as well. Certainly. What has been finally, Jaeden? What has been the feedback from your friends and family and things? Since after winning the medal.
Well, everybody proud, and that's motivating me more to do good.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well,
sorry. Pen is from after Carriacou.
Right.
I'll be training pen relays.
Pen relays. Okay, so you're one of those athletes that will be at the pen relays at the end of this month, representing Kingston College in the throws. I know Jamora Alves will also be at the Carriacou games, and then also at the pen relays. So we're just gauging some of the athletes who will be moving on to the pen relays. And Shavin says he's not certain as yet whether or not he will be at the pen relays. So lots in store for you folks. You have to stay focused. You have to stay motivated. You have to be inspired, because there's, as you say, the Carriacou games. You have the pen relays, and as Shavin says, there are other meets, the all-comers, and other meets for you folks. A lot ahead for you, and obviously opportunities for you folks to move ahead after you finish in Jamaica. Thank you again, and as the folks have been saying, you can see some of the comments on the Facebook page when you get off. A lot of congratulations to those folks, and things like that. So thank you again, Jaeden.
Yeah, no problem.
Right. Thank you, and all the best. So Jaeden and those guys are moving on, celebrating. Certainly, Angel. It has been a very good night for those folks. I wonder if Jamara is still on. I know Jamara has been, she has been tuning, listening, but we have to give those folks, I wanted those athletes to talk early so that they can get some time to get some rest because they have training, they have school and things like that. So let me bring on Rudian as we get ready to wrap up Rudian. Certainly, an Angel as well who is on. Um, we have been hearing from those athletes, and I'm certain you are very much impressed with what you have been seeing and hearing from those athletes, and especially a special night for those from Carriacou as well.
No, most definitely, and I like the confidence that they have going into this weekend games. And I believe we are going to see one of or the best performance in character from the Grenadian team. They are going to surprise a whole lot of people, and our name is going to again be talked about across the Caribbean island for upcoming athletes. So I think we're on the right path with the athletes. As you know, and I know, there's always the little things that had to be fixed. That is always, to us, we feel there is more that can be done. But I hope, seeing the performance and seeing what's happening to our athletes, in Jamaica, not only in Jamaica, but outside in the United States now, our athletes is performing. Our athletes are doing well. So it's not only in Jamaica right now. Our athletes who is in college and university out there are doing very well. So, I mean, like I said, we are upcoming. We're hoping to, like, again, in the future, have more than just two people representing Grenada on the world stage. It is time for us to have a full team. It is time for us to have the feel as well. It is time for Grenada to take that level, and I think we're on the right path. With the athletes that we have, I know we are going to say 2024, but we should say 2028, that we have a full team. We should think, 2 Olympics ahead, which give them the time to grow, the time to build, the time to have a proper mindset, the time for us to put what Grenada need together, get the equipments for those who need the equipments, work with those who's working with the athletes. It is time for Athletics Grenada to start, open up their mind, open and seeing that there are coaches out there who wants to be a part and use them, and not necessarily saying getting rid of those that is there, but it's time for something new. It is time for something new because we have new athletes coming up, better athletes coming up. A lot of these athletes will be better than me when I compete. They run faster than me. Some may run faster than Kirani. So it is time for us to start having a new strategy moving forward. And even if Jamaica is the way we have to do it, let us do it that way, but let us have a proper structure for them. Let us rebuild our athletics association. Let us put things in place, and let us try to get more athletes out of Grenada on scholarship to the United States, further their education, and let us have, like I said, a full team going into big world championship meets, big world games, and let us, let our flag truly fly again, like it always has under the Kirani. But let it fly, and I really hope and pray, and I'll be praying for those for the in the character games, that our flag can fly while they're there,
Yeah,
and
well,
podium could be a possibility for us. But
yeah,
personal best is just as good as the podium, because the podium is just a medal, but with a personal best, they're gonna happy for the medal, but not happy for the performance.
yeah.
So let us have both performance and medals.
Well, the important aspect here is ensuring that we have a proper structure in place because even if we continue to send our athletes overseas or athletes go overseas, there comes some point in time where, for example, we never know if at some stage the Jamaica system might limit the amount of athletes,
Yep, yep,
foreign
definitely.
athletes, as how
Yep,
we had the NCAA and all these sort of
yep,
things. So we have to ensure that even though they are going to Jamaica now, that we have something in place. We start building something so that, and as I said again, for those who may not be able to go to Jamaica or go to the US or whatever, they should be able to stay in Grenada, train, compete, and if possible at some stage, school. Because we do have the tertiary institutions, and that's of the TMR Show Community College and the St. George's University, right?
But also, Bascom, I would
But
also
we
like
need
to see.
the structure in place.
I would also like to see. I mean, your platform is awesome, but I would also like to see these athletes talk about more of the performance. Hopefully, you can bring them back on that other people can hear, because it's important that when I speak to Mr. Charles, where you talk about you have to fight for everything. That's the Jamaican mindset. And if our athletes know who is in Grenada right now, know, hey, you have to work hard to get what you want. You have to work hard to get your bread. You have to work hard for it. And if they have that attitude moving forward, I think the mindset of our athletes coming up that's in Grenada, who may not be able to have the opportunity to leave Grenada, they can have that fight. They can have that same thing. So I would like to hear them more on different platforms. Or bring them more on your platform to spread the message.
The idea is to keep engaging them.
Yeah.
And it's not so much, as I told them, it's not so much an interview, but more of a discussion, because some of them are fearful of being interviewed, and I could understand,
Yeah.
So it's more a discussion, and I think this is just the start, and we hope that we can continue every now and again having these athletes and coaches and others that can come on and speak about the experiences, speak about the it's not just Kirani James, for example, because yes, Kirani will be able to come and speak about his performance in Bermuda and blah blah blah, but these young athletes, about their training, and I was sort of impressed with how they talk about their plans, what they have in mind, all these sort of things. That is, I want other young athletes in Grenada to hear that, and to say, well, whether it's Shavin, or whether it's Jaeden or Jamara, whoever it is like that. So, well, I could be like her. I could be like him, and these sort of things. I want that sort of
because and you're so right, because the more our young athletes see them and hear from them, is the more they want it, the more they're hungry for it, the more they will strive towards it. If they're in the background and we're not putting them up front and we're not talking about them, we have to get them out there. We have to get their name out there. We have to, in spite of what it is, we have to hear from them. Let the athletes hear from them, from the young ones all the way up. When they come home, get them into the elementary schools. When they come back home, get them into the high schools where they come from. Get them to speak, maybe to just a class, maybe to the whole school. But if you can get them out there, set up that platform, it will be really good for Grenada. And Mr. Johnson, and I really understand that the system is not there for you to kind of adapt to your coaching like you want to. But you got to look into it. You got to really want. There is opportunities out there. Go online, see where you can do courses that is online for a start. That is just the same level as in Grenada. A lot of stuff now is online. It may cost a bit. It might, because of the being Grenada, and it might be in US funds or something. But just try for it. And if you put some things out there and said, I want to go for a coach, if there's a funding somehow, the people out here, Mr. Bascom will be the first one to have it on the show to help you pay whatever it is so that you can get your levels, because that's what you want. You want to get that level. You want to take that another step, so and truly that's what you want. There are stuff online that you can do online. Some of the levels might be higher than Grenada. You understand? Grenada levels. Search it out. If you need the support, talk to Mr. Bascom. There's something we can do, fundraise, whatever we can do. And there's other people on the same platform who will help. Those who come on will help you, because it's what you want, and we're seeing the results in what you're doing. So just research it, do what you have to do, man. And sometimes we can't depend on others. You have to.
Yeah, but it's also, and while that is so, and thanks for that suggestion. It's sort of an indictment on the authorities in terms of how they think, because it's no secret that Carriacou has been producing, these athletes. So it should be rocket science to say, well, hey, who it is, who is the person, who are the people involved, what system do they have in place, what sort of
Yeah.
assistance do they need?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, it's all well and good. What Mr. Johnson will have to do will embark on something personal,
Yeah. No,
which
no,
is a bit,
definitely.
yeah,
And
which is unfortunate. You understand
yeah,
what I'm saying? He will have to embark on something personal, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, I'm saying what he's doing there is no encouragement to others in car who may have similar, you know, ideas or similar intentions of coaching or
yeah,
being involved because they will say, hey, it means I will have to, think on my own and there's a so I'm saying we need to put systems in place to
no,
ensure
definitely.
that whether it's Angel Johnson or whether
Yeah,
it's Trevor Mcintosh with his
whoever it is. Yeah,
foundation or whatever it is,
yeah,
that they're part of the process, they're part of the system, and they
yeah,
can, um, they can be integrated as a
yeah.
matter of fact, we can
Into
call upon Angel to have athletes participate, etc., and not just because the athletes are competing, we just put them on a national team because blah blah blah. But we
yeah,
have to understand, yes, you know, do they inquire how these athletes train in Carriacou under the conditions they train?
that the
You
train.
know,
Yeah,
and all these things. Who are
yeah,
they training with?
yeah.
What it is available for them in terms of equipment and facilities, etc. These are the sort of things that they have to inquire about and address. You
And
know,
and it's very hurtful. I'm telling this right now because um I I have a plan to see sports in Grenada evolve beyond what we see now. Um anyways, you leave that there. But what I'm saying to you is that a lot of this stuff in place have been there for years. We've seen a lot of coaches like yourself and older than you are who have done great things and never been recognized. Great things, greater than you what you have done because you just started. You're the baby. You guess what I'm saying? And these
Sure.
coaches have that experience over you, and they've not been recognized. They have done great things and they've not been recognized. The system, like we talk about, have to change. Listen, Mr. Basketman, we talk about these things all the time. You understand? But some of them, the mindset is the mindset. We just really hope that we can get the right people to understand what they're going or where they're going and what you have to do. But in the meantime, write letters. So in that way, you can say, I did not do. I did not try. Get it to every area. Find out who, send letters to them, send emails to them, let them know this is who I am, that's what I've done, and I want to take my coaching to the next level. Can you help? What can I do? How can I be a part of a national team? How, because it's your athletes. It's not theirs. Your athlete that is going to perform right now. You know what I'm saying? It's your athlete. So
Yeah.
how can you get that done? So do everything that you can, and that in that way, in the end, you could say, you know what, I try everything. Mr. Bascom, I get out, I reach out. The response wasn't there. Now I want to go on my own. I can do something. The funding is heavy for us. What can you do to put something on the platform that we can get the help? We can start something for you, and that you can be better, man. That's exactly what you gotta. We gotta try. You can end the government. The system cannot say, "Oh, we didn't hear from you. We don't know you want to do this. We don't know you want to do that." Make sure that you put certain things in place, because then you cannot even go there and say, well, they don't know about me and they don't. No, you have to say, I give it my best. I reach out and they turn me down. So now I have to do that on my own. And it happened many times. I've seen a coach here in Toronto who was the way he was treated. He went and get his level 5 IAAF. And now Canada had to give him their level 5 without him doing nothing here in Canada, because IAAF is higher than what Canada have on the standards. You understand? So just right away that people have to go there. Sometimes you have to reach out and do what you have to do. And that's just my advice to you. Hey, coach, you are awesome, man. And I can see
Yeah,
great things
thanks,
in you. I
man.
can see the fire in you. I can feel the
Yeah,
fire that
man.
you have for your athletes in Carriacou. And the athletes will do great things under you, because the attitude that you have towards the sports itself and towards the athletes is greater than anything else. And once you have that, you'll be great. Continue the hard work you're doing, man. And I'm going to hear your name. I'm going to hear your name. I'm telling you now. I'm going to hear your name. Just continue
One
to do
day,
what you're
one
doing,
day.
man, and just stay on the right path. Don't go over yourself. Stay on the same level. Stay on the same path, and just keep coaching the athletes, and you will see. Carriacou, man. Listen,
Yeah.
Intercal is nothing compared to the next year. No school is beating Carriacou. Any school in Carriacou. You get what I'm saying?
Fact,
You gotta
fact,
continue doing your work,
fact.
man.
Well,
Because
it's
you
a
guys
case
on
that
fire out there. You guys on fire.
Carriacou will continue to be a force to be reckoned with, and I
Yeah.
want to thank Angel Johnson. Thanks very much for accepting the invitation and being on the program. Um, Certainly, you said a lot eye-opener to us because we probably would not have known, well, what is really happening in Carriacou. And as a coach, you know what you know facing, the challenges that you're facing, but still producing quality competitors. I want to thank you. I want to
And
thank
Mr.
also.
Bascom, just before you
Tell
go,
me. Mhm.
hey, Angel, just before you go, if you could reach Mr. Bascom, he will give you my contact, and I will definitely help an athlete in any way that I can. I can do a sponsor for one athlete, maybe not all, but I can help in different ways. I can help, with whatever throwing equipment they need or shoes or whatever they need. I'm definitely willing to help. My achievement and my goal in life is to help and Grenadians, and I do my best that I can. I can do all, but if I can start with one, then one is better than nothing. So
Uh,
I'll help whenever I can.
and
So reach
I'm
out to
very
Mr.
happy to
Bascom.
say that.
Yeah,
I'm
reach out
very
to Mr.
happy to say
Bascom.
that as
You'll
well
get my information, and then we'll go from there.
Okay
because
then.
what happens is that we even in the shows as well that normally we go with the rotations and we do not have rotational shoes. They compete off with sneakers and they perform.
Yeah.
And with that equipment and with that resources, I know that they will do a lot better. So I thank you for that, man. Thank you very
Okay
much.
then.
No problem.
All right
Like I said,
then.
reach out to Mr. Bascom, and
Yeah.
he'll give you my information, and we'll stay in contact.
Okay then.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
very
you
much,
very
man.
much, folks. Bang on time, hour and a half, and I want to thank you, Angel, once again from Carriacou, Trevor Mcintosh, who joined us earlier, also from Carriacou, Rudian as well from Toronto, and I want to thank Fernando John, Texas. He's somewhere in Texas, but he should be in Jamaica on the weekend. And not forgetting our athletes, Jamara Patterson, who was on earlier, Shavin, Hector-Charles, Jaeden, Teka, and also Nazio John, who also joined in on the program. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity post Carifta to bring those athletes once again, and have them discussing and just the athletes chatting, and having them in a sort of informal sort of setting where they can just discuss and things, and you folks can listen to them. Thank you once again, folks. I want to thank you, both Angel and Rudian. Thank you very much.
No problem,
It's
sir.
been a
Thank you.
pleasure, man.
Okay then,
It's been
thank
a
you.
pleasure.
Okay then, so you heard it there from both Angel and Rudian, and earlier we had Trevor McIntosh, who will also be on our program in the future to talk about his foundation and what he has been doing in Carriacou as a follow-up. Lots have been happening in Carriacou, and certainly it should be a very interesting program. We'll hear from Trevor all that is taking place with his foundation and sort of the assistance we have been provided with some of these athletes, the connections rather, some of those athletes, and as well the challenges, because it seems as if the folks in Carriacou are facing so many challenges, but they are not giving up. They're continuing to persevere. I want to thank you folks for that. It has been a special night, I would say, and I didn't mind going the extra half an hour because there are a lot to be discussed. It should have been probably a 2-hour program. But that's the program from here. It was a special program on Wednesday night. Normally we are on a Thursday night, but we wanted to have this on a Wednesday night, particularly to accommodate the athletes who should be getting ready to encamp in Jamaica for the Carifta Games. Well, because of Carifta Games this weekend, we have no program, so we'll be back sometime next week. We may have to tweak treat the day a bit, but I'll let you know. Thank you once again, folks, for being part of the program, live here from Charlotte in North Carolina. I want to thank you and always being part and continue, rather, to support our sportsmen and women, not just the elite, but our athletes in general, whether they are boxers, whether they are swimmers, once they're in sports, please support them. By the way, it's also the Carriacou Swimming Championships this weekend in Barbados, and Grenada also represented a 7-member team, and we will also be following the exploits of our swimmers in Barbados at the Aquatic Center as they swim for gold. They swim for medals, right? It's not just track and field, also swimming. Thank you very much, folks, and do join us next week, God willing, for another program. No program on this weekend because of the Carriacou Games. Thank you.